Hey y'all, it's Eric once again, and I'm here to talk about our minds. Especially in my own experience, there have been times where it's been my biggest asset, there have been times where it's been a detractor. Now, I started watching constructive content on YouTube to improve my thinking, just overall change my mindset. And in the midst of that, I realized how much meaningless content I was consuming, and also in turn, how it limited my thinking. But by no means do I believe that that's where our dumbing down began. In my opinion, this begins when we are introduced to the classroom. Now, by no means am I anti school, and if you're younger, if you're in school, stay in school. But it cannot be denied that there are major issues here. I won't say that the greater education system is flawed within itself, because it does exactly what it was designed to do, and that's to create docile employees. And it carries that out by preying on the innate characteristics of children. Think of any child you know, 5 or under. They're likely imaginative and creative. They have no problem with asking for what they desire. They don't overthink. In fact, they make decisions with confidence. Even when it comes down to something like eating dirt, they have no doubt in their mind whether it's going to work. And school just kind of strips that away over time. When you're made to memorize and regurgitate meaningless information for 8 hours a day, how do you retain your creativity? When you were punished for standing up for yourself, how do you grow up to be the person that asked their hiring manager for their desired salary? When you were constantly scrutinized for not being able to learn effectively in a system that was not catered to your style of learning, how do you go on to be a person that makes decisions with confidence? So I'm sure you guys have all heard before that school teaches us what to think and not how to think. Because the workforce is not set up to handle a bunch of decisive people that know their worth. That would actually be a nightmare, because you're not as easily controlled. I also want to discuss media and how that limits our ability to think. I'm guilty, and I'm sure you're guilty, of having a screen constantly in front of your eyes all day. Like I mentioned in the intro, it was in the midst of me actually consuming constructive content when I realized how much meaningless stuff I was putting into my brain. We are subjected to constant distractions, whether it's news, TikTok, celebrity drama, regardless of what it is, it's not going to add any value to your life. And I'm not saying that we should never partake in consuming this type of content, but we should consume it way less than we are consuming that value-based content. We can even set appointed times to ensure that our consumption is limited. Actually, something that I myself need to get better at. But when we're constantly subjected to these types of distractions, it causes us to then think on a surface level, leaving no room for intuition, creativity, emotional awareness, even just having that space so that God can talk to you. Like school, most of the things that pop up on your timeline tell us what to think and not how to think. And this is all a means of controlling the masses. Now, I don't want to solely focus on the issues that we have as it pertains to thinking without providing some solutions that have helped me. So here goes 3 solutions that could possibly help you as well. The first of these solutions being meditation. Meditation as a means to clear my mind, meditation as it pertains to the Word of God, and meditation in relation to the goals that I have for myself. Now, these 3 different methods of meditation directly address a lot of common issues that people have as it pertains to thinking. I myself, like all of you, have an overthinking problem. So when I meditate to clear my mind, it allows me to have control over it in that moment. And just like a sport, I can practice and get better. When I meditate on the Word, it forces me to slow down so that God can show me what He's trying to convey to me. When I meditate on my goals, it instills within me the belief that I can do it and gives me back that confidence that society tries so hard to take away. The second solution I'll go over is to invest in your creativity. Now, we live in a society where we are not prompted to think creatively as much as we are demanded to think practically. The creativity that society's tried to take away from you, you can build that back up by practicing it. This YouTube channel is a perfect example of that. And I'll develop over time and only become more creative. I make music with my friends, and that's another outlet that I have. Now, the more time, energy, and money that I invest into my creativity, the better I'll be. So I recommend that everybody have a creative outlet that they're passionate about, and you have to make time for it. That's the key. Solution number 3 is we have to read. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but not often applied. Reading not only has the potential to expand your vocabulary, but it also has the power to expand your mind in general. through introducing you to new concepts. I definitely need to do a better job at applying this solution. Maybe pick up some business books or something like that, and I'd recommend that you do the same. Now, the book doesn't have to be about business, but it could be about whatever you're passionate about, just whatever you're trying to improve in. So that's all I have for today. Feel free to hit the comments and let me know if you derived any value from this. Also, if you're applying any of those solutions that we discussed and how it's helping you on your journey of thinking more effectively. And thank you to everyone who's liking and subscribing. I definitely believe that we're on the verge of building a great community of people who really just want to push themselves further. And if you're not subscribed and if you didn't like the video, I ask you to go ahead and do that so that you can be informed whenever I upload and so that you can be a part of this great community that we're building. I believe in you. God has a purpose for your life. And with that being said, thank you for allowing me to make my contribution.